Hello all. Today we will discuss Elizabethan age. From 1558 to 1603, Queen Elizabeth I ruled over England. She was crowned after Queen Mary's death. Elizabeth, Henry VIII's daughter, was the fifth and the last monarch of the Tudor dynasty. She can be considered the greatest of the Tudor monarchs. When Elizabeth I came to the throne, England was divided by religious issues. England had been officially Protestant under the rule of Edward VI from 1547 to 1553 and Catholic under the rule of Queen Mary from 1553 to 1558. Elizabeth's subjects included both Catholics and Protestants. Elizabeth's religious settlement was an attempt to unite the country after the changes in religion under Henry VIII, Edward VI, and Mary I. It was designed to settle the divide between the Catholics and Protestants. Elizabeth judiciously chose the middle path between the two extremes of Catholicism and Protestantism. The Queen wanted the Church to appeal to both the Catholics and Protestants. The settlement itself was written out in two Acts of Parliament, the Act of Supremacy and the Act of Uniformity 1559. The Act of Supremacy of 1559 proclaimed Queen Elizabeth to be the supreme governor of the Church of England. The Queen exercised royal power concerning the Church within the provisions of religious legislation, and she protected the Church from attempts by Parliament to meddle. Much of traditional Catholic faith and practice was retained, but without submission to papal authority. The Elizabethan settlement was acceptable to the bulk of the English people. At all costs, the Queen wished to keep the peace. Her extremely moderate religious policy brought stability to her reign. Catholics and Protestants were monitored and sometimes severely punished if they threatened peace and stability of the country. Thus, Queen Elizabeth steadied England during a period of religious turmoil and set her nation's course to become the leading world power for the next 3 centuries. The reign of Queen Elizabeth is considered to be the golden age in English history. It was a period of largely internal peace. The religious divide was almost settled, a national church was founded. The period saw the rise of the English navy with the defeat of the Spanish Armada. In 1588, English-Spanish rivalry led to a failed Spanish invasion of England, in which the Spanish Armada, the greatest naval force in the world at the time, was destroyed by a determined English navy. A furious storm completed the destruction. The defeat of the Spanish Armada made England a European power. Sir Francis Drake, one of the commanders in the defeat of the Spanish Armada, circumnavigated the world and became the most celebrated English sea captain of his generation. The Elizabethan age in England was a time of growing patriotism. From every aspect of this age is full of glory for England. The Elizabethan age is specially remembered for its great literature. Theatres were opened in London over the next several years, including the famous Globe Theatre in 1599. The English Renaissance was in full bloom in the Elizabethan age. It saw the birth of English prose, the origin of national drama, and the elaboration of English poetry. The period produced some of the world's great playwrights. By Queen's death in 1603, England had become a major world power in every respect, and Queen Elizabeth I passed into history as one of England's greatest monarchs. Queen Elizabeth remained unmarried and died without a direct heir. The Tudor dynasty came to an end with her death in 1603. The throne passed to her relative, the Stuarts, the ruling family of Scotland. James I, the King of Scotland, ascended the throne. Literature reached high standards in the Elizabethan age. The period produced a gallery of authors of genius. Among the great poets of the age, the greatest name is that of Edmund Spenser. Spenser's first work, Shepherd's Calendar, published in 1579. It was dedicated to Sir Philip Sidney, who was Spenser's close friend. The Fairy Queen was an epic poem by Spenser. It was written in honor of Queen Elizabeth and in celebration of the Tudor dynasty. His plan was to compose 12 books. Spenser published the first 3 books in 1590, then the next 4 books in 1596. He was only able to finish first 6 books before his death. Amoretti is a series of sonnets written by Spenser in honor of his future wife, Elizabeth Boyle. Spenser's greatest contribution to English poetry is the Spenserian stanza. Philip Sidney published his Astrophel and Stella in 1591. It is a collection of songs and sonnets addressed to Lady Penelope, whom Sidney loved and lost. He published his prose romance, Arcadia, in 1590. Sidney's apology for poetry was a fitting reply to Stephen Gooson's pamphlet, School of Abuse, which had denounced poets as pipers and jesters. The book inaugurated Renaissance criticism in England. The principal master of prose was Sir Francis Bacon, the first and the greatest of the English essayists. In 1597, when Bacon published his 10 essays, marked the beginning of essay writing in English. The first tragedy, Go Buddock, was written by Thomas Sackville and Thomas Norton around 1562. It was written in blank verse. The play, Gamma Gutton's Needle, is a comedy in classical style. The great period of Elizabethan drama was dominated by the university wits, a professional set of literary men. They were John Lilly, Thomas Kidd, George Peele, Thomas Lodge, Robert Greene, Christopher Marlowe, and Thomas Nash. John Lilly, famed for the highly artificial and much imitated prose work Euphues, wrote plays like Endymion. Lilly's Euphues set a new example in prose writing. Thomas Kidd achieved great popularity with his work The Spanish Tragedy. He was influenced by Senecan tragedies of blood and revenge. George Peele wrote plays like The Arraignment of Paris, The Old Wives' Tale, etc. Robert Greene wrote plays Alphonsus, Orlando Furioso, Friar Bacon and Friar Bungay, etc. Christopher Marlowe was one of the most important of the university wits. His play, Tamburlaine the Great, astonished the public. He was the first to make use of the blank verse, which soon became the recognized medium for the drama. Marlowe's major plays were Tamburlaine the Great, Dr. Faustus, The Jew of Malta, and Edward II. In Marlowean tragedies, the hero dominates over the rest of the characters and dwarfs them by his towering personality. Marlowe's writings made him the most popular of university wits. Thomas Lodge's most important work was Rosalinde. Thomas Nash's significant work was Summer's Last Will and Testament. The English drama reached the height of perfection in the hands of William Shakespeare. The early plays written by Shakespeare were mostly comedy and history. It was during the early 1590s that Shakespeare's first works were recorded, which include Richard III and 3 parts of Henry VI. Shakespeare's genius has been displayed in his dramas such as Love's Labour's Lost, Midsummer Night's Dream, Romeo and Juliet, Merchant of Venice, Merry Wives of Windsor, Hamlet, Othello, etc. He also wrote some poems and popularized the sonnet form. His plays reflect his own age, but his characters are true to all time. Shakespeare was a poet and playwright par excellence, the greatest genius in the world of English letters. Ben Jonson was another genius. He was noted for his comedies, which was constructed on the basis of the theory of humors. Every Man in His Humor is his masterpiece. Other works were Volpone, The Silent Woman, and The Alchemist. In the history of English literature, the Elizabethan age occupies a greater place, and it is rightly the golden age of literature. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.